So it's been almost a month since my latest Criminality video, and I caught a lot of shit for making that video. Not before Pies made a video about it though. Before that, everyone agreed with me. So first up, we're going to be addressing a couple of common criticisms regarding my video, and why those criticisms are wrong, and a few points I was wrong on. We're also going to be talking about how I was right about Criminality, because remember what I said at the end of that video? And with how things are going right now, the only new content we'll probably ever see is just more skins. Yeah, look at all that content we've gotten so far. After nearly a month of new content, it's all just pay-to-win skins. And there was this amazing change to the game. This small part of the patch notes, called Updated Framework, is actually one of the best additions we've gotten so far. The thing that annoyed me most about Criminality V2 originally was the gunplay changes. They were so awful, so much fucking camera shake, and it made basically every automatic useless. And while this new system isn't perfect, it's a massive improvement over the original system that was proposed in V2. This change alone has made the game somewhat enjoyable again, and the attachments for the SCAR and the G18 are super cool. Like, where was this shit before? These attachments are perfect. Not only are they memorable, they actually improve the gun instead of making your gun only useful in a single area. Let's get on to a lot of common points people have thrown at my video about Criminality V2. Point number 1, that I made the video out of spite because I was upset that I got blocked on Twitter by the Criminality account. This point sounds stupid, but I swear I saw this argument so much in my comments. I actually had praised this game a lot during the infection era of the game because that game mode was absolutely peak, and that was literally like a couple of days after he had blocked me. So no, that has nothing to do with it. I just didn't like this update. Point number 2, attachments are the way they are because it's meant to be a side grade. This would be a fairly good counter argument if the button prompt didn't say upgrade, and also didn't cost so much. An upgrade implies it improves the gun completely, but gun upgrades in Criminality don't generally improve the gun. Instead, they just make it excel in one area while sacrificing literally everything else, which in some cases can cost just as much as the gun, or even double as much as the gun. And in some cases, it just doesn't make any sense to upgrade your gun. The only exceptions to these are the SCAR and the G18, which only improve the gun, and are genuinely good attachment additions. Point number 3, that I contradicted myself by saying I liked the animations in this update. Alright, so let me get this straight. Pies spends 22 minutes in this video crying that I do nothing but dog on the game, but then gets pissed off at the fact that I said the animations are good since I said this is the worst update to date. Which it is, but that doesn't mean it can't have good qualities in it. And the animations were a genuinely good part of it. Point number 4, the new gun sounds are the way they are because they are supposed to sound realistic. I'm convinced that everyone who said this has never fired a real gun before. Real guns do not sound like this, and even if they did, that's not a good argument because they just sound like shit. None of them have grown on me since this update has been released, and I just don't understand how you could see this sounding better than this. And some of them are just lazy as hell. The Deagle is straight up the BFG but sped up, and at the end of the day, I mean, it really is up to you whether you like the sound changes, but I personally think they're trash. And that old M4A1 sound was amazing, and it sucks that I won't be able to hear that in-game anymore. Point number 5. So in the video of Pies reacting to my video, he likes to downplay a majority of the points I bring up, and one that annoys me quite a bit is the pixel skipping issue with snipers. This has been a bug for 3 years, and I have reported it many times, and I'm sure others have too. And he acts like it's not that big of a deal. He says, it only affects 3 of the weapons, so who cares? Like, are you serious? It affects the 3 most expensive guns in the game, and the guns that matter most if you miss or not with them. Like, imagine missing a BFG shot on a tier 3 kit because of this issue. And it can, and it legitimately does happen. I don't understand why he can't just, I don't know, fix it. This is a common thing Pies does throughout this video, where he either downplays my criticisms, or calls me mad, or just childishly insults me. If you cut out the parts where he does all those things and leave the parts where he actually tries to make a point against me, this video would be like 1 minute long. And finally, the biggest issue I had with this update, which I'm even more upset about looking into it after the fact. Skins. These are undefendable in my opinion, but of course Pies and the Criminality meat riders all defend this feature for some reason. I love how Pies acts like such a pseudo-psychologist in all of his videos, yet he sees no issue with RVVZ promoting unregulated pay-to-win gambling in a game meant for children. Adults can't even handle gambling sometimes, yet you think kids can handle it? And once again, he downplays this issue by saying that the limited skins only give a slight bonus and that it's not that big of a deal. Pies, you made a video about this game's player base. You of all people should understand the player base better than anybody. People spend upwards of $200 USD to buy the headless package, core blocks, other packages that make your hitbox look smaller for such a small advantage. You really think people wouldn't spend hundreds of dollars to get a limited skin for a tiny bonus? And the Deagle admittedly has a small bonus, but the Inferno Magnum, the Gold RPG, and the Sawed-Off are just straight upgrades that can completely change fights. And in the system's current form, RVVV cares so little about his player base, he is risking the entire game being taken down to run this gambling system on Roblox. On Roblox, you are not allowed to have a randomized Robux loot table without disclosing the odds of every item. And for the limited rarity, he doesn't disclose these odds. Like, this is crazy. How can you defend this? How could you ever defend something so blatantly wrong? And yet Pies and his Meat Riders all defend this feature. That's crazy. Imagine role-playing as a psychologist online as much as you do, and then defending something so blatantly anti-consumer. And for the last point, this is a new one. This game's development team is incredibly sensitive to any and all type of criticism. On screen now, these are all deleted comments on the most recent case trailer for Criminality, and there were a lot more before this. I just couldn't screenshot them all. The person who runs the Criminality YouTube channel literally just deletes any comment saying that they don't like this update. And, you know, it leads people to believe that everyone actually loves what Criminality does, because the devs love to hide the fact that the majority of their player base is extremely unhappy with its current updates, because they literally just delete and hide comments from people who hate the stuff they put out, which is just pathetic. How do you manage to grow this big as a developer and not be able to handle basic criticism for very good reasons? It's not like a troll or anything. These are genuinely good criticisms that are completely deserved. Now, let's get on to the stuff I was wrong about. In this video, I make some pretty crazy exaggerations, like saying that this is the worst update in the history of games. It's not, and looking back on it, if I could rewrite that part or just not say it, I would, and I apologize for saying that. I also over-expected too much with this update. I was unaware that a lot of the development team were working on other things throughout this update, dev time, and a lot of the people in the comments let me know this, but once again, they don't really tell us these things in an easily archivable channel like announcements or on Twitter. Instead, it's just randomly in the general chat, which isn't helpful, but still, I over-expected, and I'm sorry for that. Now, onto how Criminality has handled itself since V2. As I said, we got a pretty good change regarding the gun spraying. It's now possible, and it's still not perfect. It's not a physically based recoil system like APOC 2 or Bad Business. It's still better than the original V2 version. But aside from that, we haven't really gotten anything besides more skins. Criminality really is the only game so depraved of any meaningful content that they make trailers for the fucking skins. And that's all we've gotten. Just skins. And these people who make the game don't care about you. They don't care about making a fun game anymore. They just want you to spend all your money on these awful looking skins that are still ripped from other games. I am not sorry for making that video. I'm not going to back down. I don't care if I get shadow banned from this game for criticizing them. It only makes them look worse than they already look right now. And you know, a lot of people assumed I made that video for clout. If I had came to record that video and lied to you all and said I enjoyed this update, the praise from the community would have been so much better and more beneficial than all the shit I've received from making this video. To all the Criminality fans who defend this game's every action, keep defending bad features and keep harassing me. I will always remain honest with the people who watch my videos when it comes to my thoughts and opinions regarding this game. And for YouTubers and players that are scared to say they don't like this game, don't be. Show them what you want. And for the people that still enjoy this game, I'm glad you do. I'm glad you have fun in something I currently don't enjoy as much as I used to. Regarding content on this game, I'll still live stream it and play with my friends, but solo montages are probably not going to happen. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.